Hey everyone, welcome to the Young Jerks. I'm a little tired today. I'm always tired when I come on these shows. Plugging through though. I think I got my buddy here, Mazza Media. What's up, brother?
Mike, how you doing this evening?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just laughing about all the butt dialing talk that's been going on all day. It was pretty hilarious, in my opinion. I'm just like,
maybe some dick dialing too.
potentially, hey, you never know. There's also the potential that someone may have actually answered a butt dial with their butt, according to David Dunetti today. So that was one of the funnier moments in court today, for sure.
So of course, people already know we're talking about the Karen Reed case, which at this point it almost seems. I think we're just all tired of it at this point. I'm retired. Are you tired? Are you looking forward to this trial? Like, what are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I kind of want this thing to be over with. It's just, thank you for having me, by the way, Mike, on the show again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no big
The
intro tonight. We just go right into it, right?
No problem, Mike. You got it. All right. So, yeah, it's just they're kicking the can down the road here, and I'm actually of the concern right now. This trial that's scheduled for next month is going to be pushed even further down the road into May and beyond. And I honestly just think that this may just go hearing after hearing until the feds just finally step in and just shut the whole thing down. I think they're trying to save face. They just don't want to, they can't just come out and dismiss the case because it implies guilt. And, Auntie Bev is, I'm kind of pointing the finger at her because she's just allowing this to go on and really not, how many times, I mean, Olivia, how many times has she typed the post on X where it's about information that they haven't given to the defense, and the defense has finally got access to some of the information thanks to the feds, as David Unity cited in court today during the hearing. They're not providing this information, they're not giving them anything, and it's constantly kicking the can down the road. And I know court can be that way. Well, we'll be back in a couple of days, or we'll have another hearing here. But this is just this. I mean, this is so out in the open right now that we literally have things like cover up and federal investigation not only being discussed by the defense, but now we have actual attorneys for Brian Albert and Brian Higgins who were in court today admitting that they knew that a federal investigation was going on, that they've actually called in to the feds and gotten information, and they were literally saying who was and who was not being investigated.
Well, they did before that. Before we get to that point, because who's being investigated? Because we could definitely going to talk about that. And again, there was a court hearing. We could play some audio again from it, maybe, but I think everyone already saw it. And we have limited time tonight, right? You have to be out of here by one.
About probably 7:55.
Okay. And we
Yep.
may take phone calls maybe later. We'll see. I'm not sure. It depends how much energy I just did a big dental surgery yesterday too, so I'm a
Oh,
little just yeah, it hammered me.
yeah, yeah, right.
late
Yeah.
late afternoon too. It was like one of those 2.5 hours, but and 6 grand later.
Oh, that's always the worst part when it hits
Yeah.
your pocket.
Yeah, but it will be good. I'm just selling off all my stocks. No,
Yeah.
but anyways, not enough about me. Two jokes. You mentioned Ani Bev, and I was just talking about almost being tired of all of this at this point. I just want to sigh. I just want to. I heard her sigh a couple times today.
Yeah.
That's what I always think of when I think of Bev Canone. Like I think of Kevin with his slurping. It's just funny. It's funny to me being doing these shows for so long and just noticing people's little things. And it's the Ani Bev sigh. Um, there was another thing I wanted to get to about that too, but maybe we just go back to investigate. No. Um, no, I think we should go back to investigate it. I think that's that actually, because I mean the attorneys they did mention who was not under investigation or who wasn't what do they call that wasn't the subject of the federal investigation or the federal grand jury, the target. They weren't the target. um we
Yes, they
know
said target. Yep, correct.
yeah, with Brian Albert, his family, basically his wife, his kids, um and Brian Higgins. Those were the ones that I heard today, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yep.
I mean, I didn't hear is what a lot of people have been saying, the defense has been saying from the very beginning, as well as Turtle Boy, Michael Morrissey. I didn't hear that Michael Morrissey wasn't under investigation. I also didn't hear that Ken Berkowitz, who was a subject on his phones today, I didn't hear that he wasn't under investigation. I
Correct.
I didn't hear that Michael Proctor wasn't under investigation. So,
Correct.
you know, I think that we heard some people are, but we didn't hear about the others, which is it's very interesting right now. I mean, what were your biggest takeaways today? Any big surprises today from court?
Well, yeah, just the fact that, the federal acknowledgement by the attorneys, they were so adamant on just saying like so and so wasn't investigated, such and such wasn't investigated. And I thought that is I'd never heard about this butt dialing before, and that was another thing that they talked about. I don't know if you know, there's a list that's been released by Microdots tonight that actually has, and I'll share this with you. I'll get this over to you, Mike. But it has all the calls that were logged on January 29th, and there's so many calls on this thing that I swear to you, they may have logged more calls last night than they logged pieces of taillight into the system over several undocumented trips to 34 Fairview Road. I mean, there are so many calls on this thing with a lot of familiar names on this thing and a lot of answered calls all through, you know, at least on this log, it's starting at 5:33 a.m. and going all the way through 2:53 p.m. There's a lot of them on there. A lot of brief calls too. A couple
Right.
seconds, not too many long-winded calls, but there's a few that are over 10 minutes, but not many. But it's just that those are the notable things that come to me is that these people have been, you know, their names have been brought up so many times, constantly. So and so and such and such. How does Chief Berkowitz, when I think it was David Yannetti had said this earlier today, or maybe it was Turtle Boy, I can't recall now. How does Ken Berkowitz driving by 34 Fairview Road, finds a piece of taillight in early February when crime scene investigators from both the Canton police and the state police had already swept the area. But now all of a sudden, oh, look, I just found one on the side of the road. I mean, come on, you're driving by?
Yeah. Yeah. And then who does he call? They said, he said he called Brian Higgins right after that, right after he found that taillight piece. And then
Right,
Higgins called Brian Albert.
right. That is correct. Yep. It's just it's frustrating because it's just we're at the point right now where if you wanted to crack open your box of cigars and start lighting them up and celebrating and cracking the bottles of champagne and celebrating because you've won, it's really not premature to do that right now.
Well,
The only thing that's
yeah.
stopping the
I
only thing that's
yeah, I just stop you right there because I feel like that. I felt like that for a few weeks now, but at the same time, it's not over. Like
that's what I mean. Yeah.
it is premature, and I especially think with the Fed's case. I mean, to me, it seems more obvious that they're going after Morrissey and the state police than these other folks that were mentioned today that that said that they're not the targets. Um, it seems like it would be a difficult case still for the feds to. Maybe that's why it's taking so long. Like this is not going to be as easy on the federal side. I'm thinking, but I think it's not going to be easy for the prosecution on the state side either. So, what do you think's going to happen? Where does this
Yeah.
go? Is it going to go to trial?
Yeah, I think. I think that they're going to try to, from Monty Bev's point of view here, I think they're going to try to kick that trial down the road as far as possible to avoid that ultimate confrontation with the fact that it's going to go to trial. There's going to be a beginning, middle, and end of the trial. As long as they're in this this hearing based, pre-trial era of this case, they can just keep deferring it as long as they want to. And God forbid if they get to April and they say, oh, we're going to schedule this thing for another time. And they say, well, we got nothing available till August or something like that. Then all of a sudden it starts to, those are the things that I have no evidence to confirm that could happen. But those are the things I'm starting to, like in my head, start to wonder if we're going to start to see those kind of stall tactics. And I agree with you about the feds. That's something I was thinking months ago as well, was that they're going to gather as much as they can. And we know that the Sandra Birchmore thing is going on. We know that there's at least about two names that have come up in the Karen Reed case, or at least behind the scenes, that are being referenced to having something to do with that. And, the feds, for example, they do take their time, but they might be gathering as much information as they need. So when they do come down on the folks they want to come down on, they have all the information they could ever need to log that against them.
That's right. They wait as long as it takes, and they have a statute of limitations. That's usually right when they file,
Yep.
right before is up. Um, Here we go. We got some good comments. Bob Brown says, Mike, you're doing it such a service for not only this case, but the town of Canton. Thank you. Um, a lot of people commenting on the butt dialing, and they're wondering actually if we butt dialed each other on the open tonight because the open was so cold tonight. It was just like, "What's up?" Blah blah blah. It was just like we just both woke up, even though you did a show earlier. But I've been working all
Yeah.
day, and you know, I just remembered I forgot to take one of my pills today too.
Oh,
So
gee.
for my teeth, remind me, people in the comment section, to take my pill at the end of the show.
Right.
I'm behind one now. Uh, one of the comments was Higgins flipped a long time ago. Um, I mean, they didn't act like he flipped today. What do you think? Do you think any of these folks, Brian Albert, his family, or Higgins have flipped? Because
I,
they,
I've heard the long, Higgins has flipped story for a long time, but it seemed to me like his lawyer was playing a different angle on that today. So it's really of the essence that I think that, you know, it still could be possible he did, but maybe his lawyer didn't necessarily present it in that way today. But I think that somebody is going to flip on somebody, and I think the more hotter the floor beneath them gets, the more you're just going to start. Divided they fall is kind of in my term of the day. And if they start to all get put in the hot seats, and the day comes where Karen Reed's out of the hot seat and they're in them, the fingers are going to start pointing about who had more to do with what, and that's when you're going to really start to see, because everyone always says, well, nobody's really turning on each other yet, at least in the forefront of things. Well, that's because really the pressure's really never been on them, in the sense that all it's been so far is many of us out there saying it's a cover up, but they haven't really been placed in that hot seat yet from a legal standpoint, where they actually have to confess to things and be under oath. And a lot of them are just sitting in the chairs on the right side of the courtroom right now.
now, what do you think about the fact that some of these, some of them today, like it sounded like Brian Albert was fine with giving up his phone information. But, Higgins and Berkowitz and the others weren't. Is that right? Did I get that right?
I heard that Albert, I believe from what I heard, Albert was also hesitant to give his information up, but I think most of them, if not all of them, were hesitant to give up, from what I understand of what I heard. But I think they were not able to get what they wanted, because I know Unetti was asking for phone records repeatedly, and they were not getting so that submitted to them by the court.
And the state is just like, "We're not opposing it," but, they are, right? I mean, that's kinda
Yeah.
what the state did on that, right?
Yeah. And I know that the defense has gotten a lot of their information from the feds. A lot of that information was cited by David Unetti as, okay, well, we go get this from the feds today. This information we've been asking for from this court, we're not getting it. And now all of a sudden, they're they're bad. I mean, they're still battling after all this time for information. These hearings have been going on for a long time, to say the least. But
Now let's talk about some of the subplots in this. Turtle Boy, said last night he was gonna show up to court, which I mean, I think a lot of us figured out. As soon as he said that, I was like, "He's not going. He's just saying that, like, just to get her to go." Like,
yeah.
and that's exactly what happened, right, today? Uh, they showed up because they thought Turtle Boy was gonna be there, right? And Turtle Boy didn't show up?
Yep, that is correct. There was two. So he kind of told two different stories. One story he said I was never going to go, and then the other story he had said later in his show today that he had actually left the house, and then the Grant Smith Ellis tweet came out about her, and then he just turned around and headed back home. So I heard two different things, but I wonder if he was just maybe pondering going, and had actually left, and then just said, okay, let me just turn around. But it was, when I heard it yesterday, I still put the post out, breaking news, he'll be in the hearing tomorrow, because you know why? Because even though I sat there in the back of my mind thinking that, not even the back of my mind, the forefront of my mind, I should say, knowing that he probably wasn't going to go today and that this was all a bluff or a baiting tactic, I figured that, you know what, you know, you got to keep the information spreading still. So I said to myself, let me put the breaking news that he's going to be there tomorrow out on the internet and kind of help spread the wildfire just a little bit to make sure that that news follows. And I had actually pondered writing in it like, you know, I think he may not go. This might be like a tactic to try to see if he can bait them into going or her into going. And then someone actually asked me about it more, and I actually wrote in the comments something along the lines of that, you know, it could be potential that I didn't want to put this in the main part of the post, but I put it in the comments. I'm like, you know, it could be a serious chance here that he's not going. He's trying to get them out the door. And literally, he put the cheese on the trap, and they just came walking in, and they you know, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I was when I heard him bragging about not going today, I was laughing so hard. I was like, that is hilarious, man. And that is smart because now they can put that on the record.
Yeah, and it's comments are coming in. I think you noted this to me as well today. She was waiting at the bottom of the stairs with Grant Smith Ellis, like almost like
Correct.
hoping he would be there, right?
And there's rumors about right now. There was a post out there today that Grant was over her apartment. Now I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but that was what was being stated online by a particular ex user that we're good friends with. But I won't say who it was or where I saw it, but that was being speculated that he was over there today.
Well, I'll say it. Jessica Machado came back at Grant because he's been harassing the crap out of
Oh yeah.
her about the daddy comment, and she said, "Hey, look at you. You're now at this woman's house, and you're acting like you're some, unbiased journalist when it's obvious, and you just, your little GoFundMe, which I've seen him pull before a bunch of times. This isn't his first GoFundMe. Let's put it that way. uh,
Yeah.
he's funny. I remember he collected money for COVID-19 for masks. That was pretty funny. But he's collecting money again, and almost all of the money is anonymous, which to me shows you who it's really coming from. We know who it's
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah.
Then you see names like the select board wife, Theodore, his wife, made a contribution. Like it's all the McAlberts, it's all the cop corruption group, So he has a lot of dirt on him right now. But it's so funny that my thing that I've been saying is that Grant Smith Ellis used to want to be me. It was just weird. Like people used to always note it to me too. They're like, "You ever see that movie Single White Female?"
Yes.
Single
Yeah.
white Grant. That's what they used to say about like Grant. That's the way Grant was with me. Now, now he wants to be Turtle Boy.
Oh boy. I mean, he is kind
And
of like
think
the
about that.
anti-turtle boy. Yeah.
Yeah, and now he's with Turtle Boy's ex. I mean, this is like I said, he's just proven me right. He wants to be Turtle Boy.
Mhm.
That's his new thing.
Jeez. Unbelievable.
Obvious. Single
Yeah.
white Grant.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now he posted a video today of Karen Reed leaving court, and he was making an accusation that the mother of Olivia Lambeau is getting paid $3,000 a
Yeah.
month
Yeah,
for
where's his
PR.
proof? Where's his proof on that?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I know from the past, and this MJ just one of our mods and the YouTube. Thank you so much, MJ. She said he is obsessed with you, Mike. And absolutely he is. And the reason why is because I've exposed him over and over and over and over again. And I was the first one to take a stand against him publicly in the cannabis community when everyone else was afraid. And so people know, and it made him really angry. And it sunk his boat because, I got long-term support in the cannabis community. And so people, they know when I'm calling something out that there might be something to it. And everyone knows. And the thing I just go back to is that you can't trust anything he says. You just absolutely can't trust anything he says. There's no proof of it. So I don't know. I don't know where he gets this stuff. We call Turtle Boy a confidential informant for against the neo Nazis for the feds. No info. Like, where's your info
Yeah.
coming from?
Right. Per source.
He used to say that I was a Vatican assassin working for Curaleaf, a dispensary group that I've never been in, never met anyone that works there except one woman who was with Mascan. I met her through Mascan. I've never talked about Curaleaf stuff with her, except maybe when I said I was going to protest them because
Oh
I don't like
boy.
Curaleaf. So, I mean, this guy is just Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always animated. I will say he's entertaining as hell though. I'll give him that. That's the one redeeming quality. I'm like, this guy, sometimes I'll sit there and I'm like, he'll get me all riled up, and then I'll sit there like, this guy is so damn entertaining though. I'm just like, it's just like he's just, it's so outrageous. It's almost, it's comical. It's
It's
just like,
comical.
geez.
But
Yeah,
it's like it's failure though. He fails every time. That's
yeah.
the and he harms people. Like I can like a part of me agrees, but then I know what he did to what he's doing to Maurice Mar. Um, and other folks, this guy has done some awful stuff. Like
Mm,
I don't even want to speak on some of the stuff, but
yeah.
he's got like real victims. Like people just they
Jeez.
tell me their stories, like I'll give you one example. I'm gonna lay some juice out a little bit tonight. He when he was on Masscan's board, there was the most senior member of the organization. She's kind of a leader. She's been around not Maddie Webster. That's another one. I'm not even saying her name. Her first name is Catherine. People know who she is. She's one of the long-term female members. She's like the great grandma of the cannabis organization, the nonprofit. And he had a beef with her. So from what I hear, he found out where her son was like working in a hospital, and he checked into that hospital just so he could talk to the son and tell her and pretend that he just ran into the guy and then say, "Oh my God, your mom has Alzheimer's. You should get her checked out."
Boy.
Like that's the type of guy he is.
Jeez.
Because he wanted to get rid of her.
Oh boy.
And this is
Jeez.
not just one example. There's many. I could be here all night talking about stuff like that. People in the cannabis movement know all about it. And he's like, so many people supported him too. And it's what's really we talk about entertaining. What I think is entertaining is I know that everyone he's worked with in the cannabis has gotten burned. So maybe he's the best thing that could happen to the McAlberts. You know what I mean?
Jeez. Yeah, Wendy, his mother is jeez. It's like she kind of got him on the payroll there to go out and be on the spot as a anti-Turtle Boy personality. I mean, basically, he's doing the same thing, from a Turtle Boy perspective. Turtle Boy was also chasing these people down, but it was also people that he had serious information on. He was spewing out things that he had gotten from sources or whatever. So Turtle Boy had concrete stuff that he was actually asking these questions. He wasn't just being spitballing things out of thin air. It was stuff that he had concrete information either provided to him or researched on that he was asking of people on that other side at that time last year. This guy seems to just be spewing things out. I mean, Olivia, talking about Olivia, her mother. How do you have the dollar figure? How do you have the Let me ask you, how do you have the dollar figure down to $3,000? What if it was 2,000 or what if it was 6,000? You don't know the dollar figure. It's just things like that you see and you hear, and it's just like this dude is, he always says per sources, or then he comments a reply
Yeah, he
saying
stretches the
alleged.
truth. He
Yeah.
heard something from, the Natalie files where she said there was 3,000 for the old PR people. We don't even know who they are. We don't even know if that's true. But he'll just use that and stretch it and just, make it about, he's a conspiracy theorist through and through. Like I said, I am a CIA dog walker. I got a good comment up here. They said, "I had it on good authority that you too are working for George Soros and made Turtle Boy's feed freeze today." I can do those things. Ask Grant Smith Ellis. I am actually I run Turtle Boy for George Soros. Oh my god. I mean, this is what the fools out there. I tried to be nice to Nick. I think he even tried to call me again today. Stop calling me, dude, on the block numbers. I'm not answering them. Um, when he starts calling Turtle Boy George Soros, like, dude, again,
Jeez.
no proof. Reminds me of Grant Smith Ellis throwing shit
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
You say you got documents, you got some shit, but it's really, I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I really don't at this point. You can say I
It's
work for George Soros. You can sue me. I don't give a shit. I'm just not. I'm focusing on the Karen Reed. Karen Reed is almost too much for me at this point. But it's the case that we're doing. And I think a lot of these people, the grants and the other one I mentioned, they're trying to get a brand going, and they're trying to use this case, and they're trying to insert themselves, and it's really obvious. It's like, I think that's the big thing with Grant. We had some other great comments here too about LG today. The fact that she didn't go in with the McAlberts, she went in with Grant Smith, and it almost seemed like they were dating in a way, which is weird, but I don't think they are. But I wonder if that has something to do because Chris Albert got called out at that school, at that select board meeting by Jennifer O'Donnell for using LG as a shield for
Yeah.
Turtle Boy. And I wonder if they said, you can't come in with us. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I would not find that hard to believe at all, quite honestly, that there was like a countermeasure done where they kind of alternated that and just coordinated it through another. It's kind of like in politics when a campaign's running for presidency and they don't run it through the campaign, they run it through, people that are campaign funders or something.
Right.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of that's kind of the guess I had because I didn't see her with them that clan today in the parking lot. I didn't see that or in the street there. I didn't see them her with them at all. So I find that very much to be
Maybe
true.
maybe she wants to flip because we got some more comments. Here's another one from Lynn. She says the McAlberts appear to be done with LG. She served her purpose, and when it didn't work, they disposed of her.
Great point. That's a great point.
I think LG should start considering that. Like, did
Yeah.
you get used by these people? Come on our show, tell the
Right.
truth. You
Right.
know,
You know,
we'll
and
be
I'd
fair to her.
imagine that there was some kind of incentive for that. I mean, they must have been whether it was motivational incentive the first time, but like I said, after they had the hearing last week for Turtle Boy, and that all just got he didn't get thrown back in jail. I mean, it was a single serving attempt, just like they said in Fight Club, a single serving friend. It was a single serving attempt. If they couldn't get TV back in jail off that, then it probably wasn't going to happen. And Turtle Boy was playing it really smart. It's a good thing he went to those cops too outside.
Right. I love this. Brian Barea, the attorney Brian Barea. He leaves this comment. Olivia is being paid by Dan Duquette.
Oh boy, Dan Duquette, he's not going to cough up the money.
I think it's John Henry, actually. John
Yeah,
Henry pulls the
yeah,
strings.
yeah. Jeremy Jacobs. Yeah,
uh, we're
yeah,
coming up with some good ones tonight.
yep.
I heard Brian Barrere is George Soros's attorney.
Jeez,
He set up all
I'll
the
forget.
estates. No.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
god. Jenna, we're gonna get flagged tonight, definitely. IG holding federal rules of evidence book. What a goof. Jenna wrote. What I'm not sure what that comment meant. What do you think?
Federal Rules of Evidence book. Maybe she came in with a folder or something with information on whatever. I think she had some kind of document last time that she was showing to the court to get Turtle Boy, basically out of there. Like I had a restraining order. That might be what that comment by Jen is referring to.
Yeah, I think Turtle Boy did play them. I think he was
Yeah.
never coming
Oh,
to
he did.
court today.
Yeah. When he said it like he kind of stopped and all of a sudden he said, "Well, I'm going to be there tomorrow." And I'm kind of sitting there, my eyebrow went right up like I was the Rock. I'm like, "Wait a second, because you made it clear a couple days ago that you were not going to be there again. You were all done. You just were going to do shows with other people like Glare and all them live when court was going on. You wouldn't be back." And he said that. I'm like, hmm, hmm. But I was like, I don't know.
I guess that comment, yeah, that what comment from Jen was about LG.
Oh, it was
Uh,
okay.
yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
Um, what's this other thing? There's a lot of good comments coming in. I just want to check some of them right now. Oh, here's a funny one. I can confirm Olivia was on the grassy knoll. And you know
I,
what? Sean McDonough was the driver with the Secret
oh,
Service back then. That was
yeah, he
his
slowed
old
it down.
assignment. Yeah, he was the driver.
Slowed it down to a nice crisp 10 miles per hour. Yeah. Oh boy, unreal. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I agree with that theory that maybe the McAlberts, it was a single attempt there, single serving use. I keep using that term. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was a one-time deal. And then just after that, Jennifer O'Donnell cracked the whole thing open at the select board. And Jennifer O'Donnell was phenomenal. I mean, she's always phenomenal, but that was one of her like top one or
Bomb.
two
Yeah.
moments. Yeah.
I mean, she got him to react. He freaked out. I mean, he's
You're embarrassing yourself.
yeah, you're
You're
embarrassed.
embarrassing yourself.
Like, dude, are you kidding me?
Oh man, I wonder if you can still get a chicken parm sub at D&E Pizza though. Is that like if you call up and ask for that, do they just like hang up on you when you call there? I always wonder that nowadays. It's probably like it's probably like a shadow banned menu item now.
I don't know. I wouldn't call, I don't suggest anyone calls there.
No, no, not at all. Absolutely not. Yeah, I
I don't
disavow
even
that. Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't even
suggesting
joke
that
about
either.
it.
Yeah, no, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, good point. Yeah, correct. I'm not encouraging anyone to call. That is correct. Do not call.
Because even when you joke, they can,
Yeah,
they don't know you joking.
right.
And there are, we don't have that many people listening tonight that I have to worry about it. But sometimes when we have, thousands and thousands of people, you never know. There's just that one person that takes it too far, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has
Good point.
happened a lot to the, different creators, which I don't like.
Right.
But I got pissed this week. I mean, I started calling shit out. Like we put it up on our YouTube, and normally in my life, I stick with the rule. If you can't say something, you don't speak ill of the dead. You just if you don't have something good to say, don't say anything. But Riccio going down, I'm not lying. I'm with Kirk Minahan. I'm happy, and the reason why is he doesn't get to harass my family anymore. Like, this is what this whole thing has become for a lot of people is sport to pick on people's families. And I think it's disgusting. That's something that I don't do. I could call you out on, Kevin and all his bullshit, but I don't research Kevin's family. I don't go after Kevin's family. People like Riccio and that other crazy woman there, that's what they do. And if you're sharing their shit and you're liking it, you might as well be doing it yourself. That's my opinion at this point. And anyone that pretends that they're, oh, I don't do that stuff, but then you share their shit or like it, don't 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 be surprised if shit comes out in you. Because that's where I'm at now. You if you're gonna try attack, support attacking my family, and we can't do what we used to do in the old days when people did stuff that was inappropriate. Well, what am I gonna do? So I'm just letting people know. I was happy when I heard the news. Mazza, you want to say anything about any of that?
Yeah, I had him blocked. I had blocked him about a month ago or a month and a half ago because I was getting tired of just all his comments. I was kind of I kind of went through a phase a month or two ago where I just got tired of dealing with all the constant trolling on my page, and I kind of got just sick of listening to the same repetitive nonsense. And he was one of the people that was just kind of coming after me almost all the time. If I didn't hear from him, it was maybe like 2 to 3 days in between comments, but he was always on my page. And
Was he still
you know,
harassing you after he blocked you? After you blocked him?
no, 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 that kind of disappeared after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish
that
that
was,
would work for me.
yeah. Oh,
I
really?
mean, this guy
See?
would come at me every day in my comments and post shit about me, but I can't see it because I'm blocked. And I have him blocked, obviously. I'm
Oh,
blocking him
right,
back.
right.
You
Yeah,
know, I mean, it just that's the way these people are. And I don't spend all my time like I didn't think about him at all. Every once in a while I'd hear some shit, I'd get some shit from him, but when you talking about someone's family and it's all lies what you're posting, like everything that Riccio posted is a lie. Like I gave him a show where he didn't have to pay. Like this kid had a pay to play show. And from the very beginning, he was stalking me. Like before I even knew him, he was stalking me on Reddit, harassing me. I didn't know it was him. He shows up at the station that is my sponsor to do a pay to play show. And next thing you know, he's on my show. I'm letting him do a show for free, basically. And hopefully he would work on it because we actually had sponsors. He didn't. And, instead of doing the right thing, he took advantage and he shit the bed and he screwed up and he got basically told he couldn't come in on one episode because we were too busy and he had a nutty on us. And that's the type of guy Riccio is. And then he turns everything around in every instance that you're the scumbag, that you're the person. The guy had so much, his brother got so much money. Oh, why does he even need us? But he did because he had nothing. I mean, this is a guy that just and he didn't give anything. You know, all he did was take, 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 take. And this is the same thing with Grant Smith Ellis. These guys are not successful. They're not like, and the other lady too. They're not gonna, there's no movement happening. They're not even gonna get to a level that we're at where we have a couple hundred people listening to us. There's nothing there. You just all they could do is sit there and complain about other people online. And my advice to everybody is just block. Don't respond. Even Kevin. Kevin wants the comments. Even myself, I respond back because I troll him. But I'm not even gonna be trolling him anymore. I think the best thing for all of those people, no comments. Make no comments and block them.
Yeah, I ended up taking that up. I remember you saying that months and months ago, and I didn't do it. And then after a while, about a month or two later, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take Mike up on that suggestion he made about just blocking these people. Twitter has been or X has been such a better experience because it's just not. I'm not actually blocking the people that disagree. I'm just blocking the people that I consider to be more volatile, argumentative, posting graphic images.
And
Some,
lying.
yeah,
That's the biggest
exactly.
thing. When
Yeah,
you lie, when you can constantly lie about people,
right.
that shouldn't you shouldn't be following that. You shouldn't even be commenting on it. You shouldn't even be fighting it at this point. You should just block them. I understand if it's about you, that's a different thing. Like, if he's going after your family or somebody's going after your family, I get that. But in most cases, we don't need to respond to Kevin. The guy's got a check mark next to his name. He's trying to make money on Twitter by posting stuff that he knows people is going to get people upset. That's his whole ploy because he's got nothing else.
Yeah, he's responded to a few of my posts a few times. I think I might have commented on his once, but that was about it. I usually don't engage with the people on the other side because you can debate them all day long, but you're not going to change their mind is one thing I think, and that's why I never really ever mixed it up with a lot of the people. I call them the opposition is one of my terms I call them because I try to say less hateful things like trolls or just scumbags, for example. But
Yeah.
but
So it's
I just try to keep it like I try to avoid that. Not avoiding as in hiding, but avoiding as in just not wasting my time, not giving my energy into that. I want to place my energy into actually talking about things that I believe matter, that I believe to be the truth, and that's how I like to keep it. And then occasionally post a couple videos of butt dialing jokes from David Unetti in court today, which I found hilarious. So there's that.
it was. It was.
I just consider that being like a Seinfeld skit. There must have been a second spinner. It's just.
Yeah.
And I was like sitting there today. I'm like, geez, that would have been a great Seinfeld skit. There must have been 36 butt dialers inside that house that night, Jerry.
And George looking at his butt.
Oh, jeez, yeah. You butt dialer by accident, George. You're not
They're
supposed
all
to talk to 2 days after the first date.
Kramer would have like 12 phones on him.
Yeah, an accidental butt dial on purpose.
Yeah, we should count up and see how many butt dials that they have claimed so far.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's just the list that we were able to get our hands on. It was more than the taillight from what I could reckon. And it was a lot. Like I said, a lot of familiar names were on that list too. A lot of them.
Someone said, "What other butt dials?" I don't think we're gonna be going through them all tonight. George Costanza. It moved. It moved. Of course, it moved. Someone said, "Please clip that as it is." Which part about the Seinfeld butt dialing part? Which part, Jennifer?
This list has 43 calls on it. One of them is a 911 call.
MJ said it's the best show. Of course, she says that. She's our moderator. She has to say that on YouTube. If she doesn't say that, George Soros gives her a call after the show. Half
Jeez,
Amber said word had it. George Soros gave Morrissey the okay to give Albert and Higgins the okay to destroy and dispose of their phones. And that he's going down. Who, Soros is going down or just Morrissey?
Yeah, the McAlbuts. That's become the new trend as of this
George
afternoon.
Soros is sitting there going, I don't know anything about this Karen Reed shit. What are they talking about?
You get the McAlberts. That's going to be sticking around for a while. That will be on T-shirts probably sometime soon too, I'd imagine.
Lauren said she's a Soros puppet, but only on Mondays.
That's funny.
She's only working 1 day a week for Soros. Hey, that's a good deal if you can get it.
Only
What
on Mondays.
any other comments that you want to make today about what happened in court or anything else related to
Yeah,
the case right now?
Tommy in the
Oh
streets
yeah,
there when he was recording the McAlbert clan there, a lady had put her phone in front of his, and there was some kind of tapping collision that took place between the phones, and I guess his phone went down, and maybe her phone went down too. And then there was another woman that was actually filming Tommy while he was filming them the whole time, and she saw the whole thing and immediately claimed that it was Tommy that started tapping her phone. But I guess maybe he'd have some right because they were up in his space. They
yeah, you
were
could
up in
see
his
it.
space.
I
Yeah,
saw that. She put her phone like right there. She was like this with the
yeah,
phone. It's like
yeah.
you did it. You're looking to
Right.
block the guy. You could tell he wasn't even moving at that point.
Right. She was quickly ID'd by a woman that was on our side of the street of Free Karen Reed. I wasn't there physically. I mean, like our side of the movement, or our side of the case, I should say. And she had immediately said she went to high school with the lady, knew her full name, and Tommy had immediately talked to a cop about it and all that. But yeah, it was pretty wild stuff. So I was Tom's always the man on the front lines there, and he's been in some action, of course, with a few different incidences. One of them most notably being the select board night when a guy had basically tried to yank his phone right out of his hands, and of course that collision with Grant when Turtle Boy got out of prison and jail rather, and then I think there was another one too. The Yannetti confrontation. Yeah, way guy, no way guy. Yeah, way guy. When they had that little spat on the phone. Yeah, Tom's a badass. Tom's a badass. I love Tom. Tom, I love, but he doesn't back down. So, but the fact that they took a little shot, got in his space like that, took a little shot at him with the tapping of the phone, it was a little bit much. It just wasn't. You don't want to see that kind of stuff. It's just keep it civil, folks, and don't turn around and blame it on Tom because Tom is not afraid to get in a confrontation if he must, but he's not going out looking for confrontations and physical
No,
altercations. He's a
not
good
at
guy.
all.
Yeah, he's a real good guy.
I mean, he
So
sits there and talks to Genetti for Christ's sakes and gives
yeah,
him
yeah,
cigarettes. I mean, I don't think I would put up with that.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's
Um,
a great guy, but it kind of upset me to see him kind of get like immediately blamed for it. Oh, it was you. Yeah, you
yeah,
did
of
it. You're
course.
not.
That's what they do every time. They
Oh
they
yeah.
attack you and then they blame it on you. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
playbook on
Yeah.
all of this. Just like Grant tries to do the same thing. Sheila wrote on Twitter X. She said, "You both have really nice broadcast voices. I love listening." Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila.
I guess we do sound good together.
That's right.
We like what did we say before?
I think you said Batman and Robin, or what was the other thing name?
Lennon and McCartney.
Lennon and McCartney. Yeah.
Or like I don't know, Morello and I don't know who
Right.
else.
Right.
Like
What's the guy's name with Ed McMahon there? The Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon.
there we go. Who's Ed McMahon and who's Johnny?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're the host, so technically, I guess you'd be
Okay.
Johnny Carson in
I'm
this.
go
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as good as Johnny. Johnny was
A
he
legend.
was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
He's
Thank you,
ahead of his
Sarah.
time too. He was
He was.
pretty socially I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was great. Really before my time to a certain degree, but I watched some, reruns and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was
Um
it was an interesting day. It was kind of just like I said, it was kind of notable. Like every part of the day between like the court hearing, between Turtle Boy and between Tommy, like there was like one notable big takeaway from all three. Those to me were kind of like the trilogy of the day of just the main stories of the day in terms of that. But that's my summary.
was that Lawrence like Captain and Tennille.
Captain and Tennille.
And someone else says our ages are showing, which I think Captain and
Ah,
Tennille show is old too. But someone said Hall and Oates. That might be a good one. Hall and
okay.
Oates. Pre restraining order.
Jeez.
I was thinking maybe how about Don Dawkin and George Lynch?
Oh, jeez. There we go.
You know them? You know them?
I've heard of George Lynch's name before, but no.
The 80s.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to Eddie Vedder and I don't know which one of the guys in the band. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Don
Simon and
Dawkins.
Garfunkel.
Oh boy, it's going back to some serious old school bands there.
MJ
Boy,
says she loves Dawkins. Yes. Oh, I love this
yeah.
one. Albert, Abbott, and Costello.
Oh, that's really a throwback to about 100 years ago.
Dawkins
That's
was the
fun.
best. Yes, they
Yeah,
were.
Ponch and John.
Oh my God, Chips.
Yep,
Dun,
Chips.
na, na,
Yeah,
na.
yep. Riggs and Murtaugh.
Oh yeah. How about the Miami Vice dudes, Crockett and
Yeah,
Tubbs?
yep. That's a duo right there too. We get the jackets and everything
Oh
too.
wait, they said the best one right here, and I've met these guys, and
Cheech
I
and
have.
Chong.
Yeah, I've met them. Cheech and Chong
Yep,
with
legend.
Tommy's wife Shelby. Wicked nice people. I love Cheech and
Nice.
Chong. Good
Tommy, what's
people.
going on? I see Tommy in the chat right there.
Oh, Tom CPO,
Yep, he's in the chat.
or like the Glera and Clubber.
Yeah, Glare and Clubber. That's a good one. Good old Clubber. Yeah, Clubber's the best.
This is one I don't like though. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna probably turn some people off. Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir.
Oh, jeez.
Uh, sorry, I'm not a fan of the Dead. I really. I'm. Some people gonna get very mad.
Yeah,
Deadheads. Oh, here's a good one. Or I got another one. Bonnie and Clyde,
Bonnie and Clyde.
or how about Thelma and Louise
Oh, jeez.
going off the cliff?
I know it's the first thing I think of. Them driving off that cliff like that. Oh boy. Yeah, Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty.
Yeah, there you go. Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty. That's
Yep.
someone just made that one. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the Hart Foundation.
Oh, now we'll do tag teams. Oh my god.
Hawk and Animal. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some good tag teams.
Hawk and
The
Animal, Marty
the
Jannetty and Shawn Michaels.
the Usos.
The Usos. Yeah, there you go.
How about the Rock and
Sock
Roman
Connection.
Reigns?
Oh, the Rock and Roman. Yeah, the Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah. Oh, the Rock and Sock. Yeah, I know about
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Mankind.
Yep. That's right. Someone said the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane. Yeah.
Oh yes. See, this is what I'm worried about. The boomers are gonna get mad. Melanie Little will not be
Oh,
happy. Anti-deadhead sentiments. You know what? I'll take that back for Melanie Little.
yeah. We got to apologize to Melanie. Sorry,
'Cause
Melanie. Don't want to
I
cross your.
love Melanie Little. I don't want to cross her. I'll tell her I'll say all kinds of good stuff about the dead if she comes on the show.
Someone said Mario. Sarah O said Mario and Luigi.
We're off. We're off. You know what? I. It's funny when we go off sometimes. Like I worry. I'm like, oh, is people going to be mad? We didn't stick to this, and we're having too much fun. But they're just keep coming back in the comments. They like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andre the
Absolutely.
Giant and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, those are some
Oh,
classic teams back in the day. Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch.
There we go.
Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski.
There we go. That works. I like that one.
Is it Brady and Edelman or Brady and Gronk? Which
Let's go with
one's the
Brady
one?
and Gronk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go with Brady and Gronk. Yeah.
This is a good one. This is goes back in the day. Cagney and Lacey. I remember
Oh
that
boy.
show. See, Heidi's got all the shows that I remember now.
Yeah.
Mm. How about Superman and Supergirl? Oh, we already said Batman and Robin.
Yeah. How about Superman and Batman? How about that?
Brady and Jules.
Brady and Jules.
Or Bobby Orr and Derek Sanderson.
There we go. Yep. Yeah,
Tango
that's a
and
duo.
Cash.
Yep. Tom and Jerry.
I think we might be done with the Dick and Jane.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
my
Right.
god.
Yeah. Yeah.
People like coming in there like, what? Why do they keep doing all these duos?
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we're done with this. I think
Yeah, there we go. All right.
we
That,
went
that,
for like
that segment's
10,
over.
15 minutes now, didn't we?
Yeah. Then Turtle
And,
Cadet came in with Green Hornet and Kato, which is a good one. I like that
right.
one.
And Sonny and Cher's another one. Oh, Donnie and Marie.
Oh,
Sonny and Cher, Donnie and Marie. I think about. Do you have to go soon or not?
yeah, I'm gonna take off. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. Why don't I just drop right now then? Yeah, because I gotta get ready to leave in about 15 minutes. So that works for me. So, Mike, thank you so much for having me. And I think today kind of had a lot of highs and lows from different ways that you can look at it. But I think the movement is continuing to be strong, supportive of everyone, Turtle Boy, Karen Reed, and one another, most importantly, as well. And, we'll just keep fighting a good fight. And again, hats off to everyone that's been going out, protesting, holding up signs, traveling a long, 20 minutes or longer, probably in most cases, just to be there every day and keep up the good work. And that's it. So thank you, Mike, again for having me, and good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mazza Media. He's got to go. My partner's got to go tonight.
So I'll plug my X account too. I forget to do that. I usually do that. Mazza Media on X. I know a lot of you already follow me, but just wanted to plug that. Cheap plug, cheap pop. So there we go. Mike, thanks again, and everyone take care of yourself. Free Karen Reed and justice for John O'Keefe. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to try to turn on the phones, maybe. If anyone wants to call tonight, this be a good night to get through. We haven't taken calls in a while, and I've been meaning to, so I think we got it on. 978-560-3155 if you want to call in. Got something to say about Karen Reed case or anything today? Give us a call.
That's not a big deal. Everybody looked the other way. As a matter of fact, Ms. McLaughlin wrote the following in her opposition. Trooper Proctor's supposed close and personal relationship with the Alberts is, quote, entirely unfounded and a desperate creation of the defense, a desperate creation of ours. She says we created this. But now we have the benefit of the federal investigation. And the Commonwealth finds itself in that very unenviable position of having to eat some very distasteful words, because we didn't create anything. And there's more. On February 1st, 2022, 3 days after John O'Keefe was killed, there was another text message. In this one, Michael Proctor's sister texts Michael Proctor very specifically and writes the following, quote, just saw Julie, and Julie said when all this is over, she wants to give you, Michael Proctor, a thank you gift. Michael Proctor didn't respond with, that's inappropriate, these are witnesses, these are potential suspects, please tell her don't ever do that again, don't ever suggest an exchange of gifts again, that would be inappropriate. I'm gonna go write a report, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Lally, and Mr. Lally's gonna turn that information over to the defense and to the court. No, that's what he should have done. What he did do is he responded, get Elizabeth one, his wife. In other words, get the gift from my wife, it'll be a little less obvious.
Boom. That was from the last hearing. I think it's just important to bring that up again. We really didn't talk about that today, but there's been a lot of bombshells that have been coming out. If you want to call in right now, get the phone lines open, 978-560-3155. Good comment. Proctor is going down. Yeah, when this is all over, Julie wants to get you a gift. Gift for what? MJ says, usually your phone is blowing up. Yes, but we didn't really advertise this. So not as many people listening tonight. Still a good amount. Looks like we got over 600. 358 on X right now, 268 on YouTube, and a little bit on Twitch and Facebook. It's funny how more and more people are listening to us on X now. I think those numbers might be juiced. I think Elon Musk is juicing those numbers on X. I can't trust them. But if you want to call in, that's why it's a good time. If you want to, get on the show and you've been dying to say something, you want to talk to us, 978-560-3155. This is definitely a good time to do it.
The IT landscape changes fast.
And I'm going to try to get
security
this
threats are everywhere,
footage
and
from today up
resources
too.
are stretched.
The third thing I would like. Your Honor, just very briefly with regard to this motion. with regard to the Rule 17 motion with request to records or communications from individual cell phones from April 1st of 2023 to the present day. Firstly, the Commonwealth would just indicate the facts as recited in the defendant's motion the Commonwealth would submit are largely inaccurate. It's injected with hyperbole, injected with conjecture, in regard to federal grand jury materials.
That's a good comment. Halfhammer says, one thing I noticed today is that none of the defense attorneys said that there isn't a cover up, but the clients individually did not participate in a cover up. It's a good point. Yeah, that's what Rachel said. Yeah, I've been noticing that. All of us have noticed on the X numbers have been super high. I don't think those numbers are correct. Can people hear me now?
Okay.
That's weird. I didn't even unmute myself. That's so whatever. I don't know what happened. The system crashed and then it muted me on the StreamYard, which is like two separate systems. That was so weird. You guys can hear us now, though, right?
Well, could they hear me, not hear you, or the other way around?
I don't know. Let me ask. Can you hear us both? Yeah, they can hear us now. Okay, go ahead. We got Scott McGinnis on the phone. Go ahead, Scott. Start over.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, we had a great day today at court. It was a great time as usual. But, we saw some strange things. We didn't think the McAlberts were going to come as a large group like they did. But the most surprising thing was to see Grant show up with LG. That was nuts. And I kind of think that Turtle Boy, Aiden Kearney, leaked it out last night that he was coming to court, and I think it was a play. I think he did that just to see what would happen today. Would LG show up with the McAlberts? Would she come alone? And she showed up with Grant, of all people, which was insane to me. And after the hearing was over, LG came down to the bottom of the stairs with Grant. I was standing right next to them. And Grant was literally protecting her and using her as a shield. It was a bizarre thing to see firsthand.
Do you think they're trying to set more people up for bullshit?
Well, I think they used her the last hearing with her restraining order to sneak attack Aiden, force him to leave the court, But when Aiden last night intimated that he might appear today, they weren't willing to put her in their fold. Instead, they enter the courtroom as a group without her. And then suddenly Grant appears with her by his side, almost like an even sneakier attack. So say Aiden was standing out there, because we weren't allowed to go in the court, because you have to remember, they give special treatment to the prosecution side's witnesses. We're forced to line up outside the court, and then the VIPs show up. They get to go into the court first. So say, for example, Aiden was standing with us. The McAlberts enter the court. Aiden sees the coast is clear. He could have easily gone into the courthouse, and then suddenly Grant would have appeared with her. It would have been a sneak attack. I find that very telling how they played that.
Did you see people calling Grant liar? I thought I saw that on the video, and people commented on that.
People were not speaking to Grant at all. They were talking to her. They were referring to her lies.
Oh, that's who that. See,
about her claiming that they were talking to her directly, and they were calling her out for her lies about Aiden Kearney and claiming that she was assaulted by him because she's a liar. So that's what people were saying to her. You're a liar. Grant actually was smiling, congenial. People were right next to her. I could touch him. I was that close. I mean, nobody was giving Grant a hard time at all. I think people that were there were like perplexed and upset why he was there with her. It doesn't make any sense. So I just wanted to give a call in and let you know what I saw firsthand, literally a foot from me, and what I think was going on there.
Do you have any other comments about the hearing today?
Well, I think obviously the feds have revealed a lot of information to Karen's defense team. They're tiptoeing on eggshells, what they can reveal, what they can't reveal. Obviously, Judge Beverly Cannoni is just being who she always is. And it's Karen's defense team has had to deal with her throughout this whole entire trial. What makes me crazy about her is she's a former defense attorney, an activist lawyer, an activist judge appointed by Deval Patrick. Normally, if you watch her in a trial, she's very pro-defense, bending over backwards to help the defense. But for some reason, in this case, because the quote-unquote witnesses, she's treating them like the defendants. She's bending over backwards for them. Normally, if you watch an Auntie Bev trial, she's bending over backwards for the defendant. Look at her last trial, the Chesna murder trial. She was bending over backwards for the defendant. Whatever she can do to help him out. He has mental illness, and he didn't mean to shoot a cop and shoot the old woman next door. I mean, I know me and you have arguments about liberal and conservative and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is she's acting in a very weird way, because in this trial, she's going crazy, bending over backwards, trying to defend the prosecution and their witnesses, which is not her MO, which is very weird to see. And it makes me wonder how corrupt and how tied in the Massachusetts trial court system is to their local DAs. A judge sits on a bench every day and she's got her ADA in front of her, Adam Lally. Adam Lally works directly out of Michael Morrissey's office. Down the street, the judicial system, the trial court system is supposed to be separate from the DA's office. The DA's office is supposed to go before a judge on equal ground with the defendant. But I think the problem with our judicial system is that the trial court is too well tied into the DA's office. So any defendant that goes in front of a judge, any court in the state, right off the bat, they're at a disadvantage because the DA and the judges and the trial court are together against the defendant. Well, even when Beverly Cannoni wants to be like pro-defendant, because that's what she used to do, and we're going to fight the big bad of the state, she becomes a judge, and she still does that from behind the bench in most cases, but not in this one. So I find it very interesting to see how she's acting in this case. Because normally you would think, a woman wrongly accused of a murder, you would think that if Beverly is going to be biased either way, you would think she would be biased toward Karen Reed. But this time around, she's biased the other way, which is an amazing thing for me to see.
And what do you think?
It makes you wonder, like, who is she beholden to?
What do you think's going to happen?
Is she worried about Morrissey, the DA?
Scott, what do you think's going to happen from here? Quickly, like, what do you think is next? Because we've got motions.
I mean, this is interesting. This is interesting to see.
Where do you think it goes?
I think she has a lot on her table right now. She has a defense that's telling her that the FBI is all on top of this. She has all her state's witnesses and her investigating officers. They've all lawyered up. I mean, this would be the craziest trial of the century. How is she going to have a trial where every witness that gets called to the stand, every police officer, every investigator is not even going to be able to answer examination or cross-examination because every person that's going to take the stand in this trial has a lawyer. But how are you possibly going to have a trial like that? The first question asked by a prosecutor or a cross by a defense attorney, each person on the stand is going to have to motion over to their lawyer and ask what they're going to say. These people have been cornered. And how she can think this is going to go to trial is insane. I don't get it. These people that Coffin Daffer and these other people that think this is going to go to trial, I don't. Okay, bring it to trial. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be insanity. Josh Levy, his office has already said there's no way we can let this go to trial. I think the feds were in the middle of an investigation. Auntie Bev was trying to fast forward this to trial, and the feds are like, "Oh crap, we have to do something here. We're obligated through TUI. We have to give them something of what we have. We have to tip our hand a little bit because we see what's going on. They know more than us. Okay, they've been investigating this DA's office for over 2 years. I believe that John O'Keefe was placed on that lawn on 34th Fairview, and they were already in town. They saw it happen right before their eyes. And now they see how the mass trial court system and DA Morrissey is trying to railroad this thing through. Karen was supposed to plead guilty to manslaughter. she didn't. Oh, well, we'll just charge her with second-degree murder now, and maybe she'll cave. She didn't. Now all these people are caught. But she's trying to just whistle past the graveyard. Oh, yeah, we'll just bring it to trial. And it's all coming to a head right now. So everybody get your popcorn.
Awesome.
You're on the edge of your seats because this is not going to go well.
Let me.
I believe
I want to cut in real quick.
somebody's getting arrested.
Can you hear me? You hear me? Good.
Yeah.
I want to cut in.
Yep.
I want to go speed round now. That means quick answers, like real simple answers, as quick as you can. What do you think about Kevin from Yellow Cottage Tales about his like ex Twitter post?
I long started ignoring Kevin. I mean, when Dave was with him early on, if we go back almost a year ago, when Dave was paneled with him and they would go back and forth, and, you know, Kevin's like, well, you know, we don't know. We got to look at both sides. But after a couple months, come on, Mike, it got ridiculous. It's like either Kevin is purposely being a contrarian just to get views, or he's literally working with them. I mean, whatever. It's just like when you listen to Koff and Daffy or these other people,
both of what you said,
that are pearl clutching the police state, and you got to believe the cops, and you got to believe nobody's corrupt, and Karen could have done it. You know, wait for the trial, wait for the evidence. It's like, come on now.
Let me ask you.
I mean,
question.
I think most people in this.
Speed round.
Go ahead.
This is speed round. Yeah, Turtle Boy has been called a Soros agent by this dude. Do you think it's crazy, or do you think there's any truth to it? Yes or no?
Which dude?
Oh, that guest that went on Sean on the Golf Show.
Oh, Nick?
Yes.
Yeah. No, Nick went off the rails there.
Good.
Okay.
Good answer. Let's move on. That's all I want to hear. Next answer.
I have views on government corruption, but Nick takes it too far.
Perfect. That was
ahead.
That was a perfect answer. Now, Turtle Boy and Sean on the Golf have kind of sparred a few days ago on Twitter. They seem like they've called a truce. They're going to do a show. What do you think about all that too?
Well, Aiden and him making a truce, is that what you're saying?
What did you think about it? Like, did one side have a point? They were both kind of throwing some, little grenades at each other. They seem to have settled it down. They're going to do a show, I think, on Saturday night. What do you think about all that?
So it's last year when Aiden was saying that, oh, this is just Michael Proctor. He had the advantage because he was the state police trooper that was in charge in the investigation, and he was going to take care of his buddies. I said back then, there's no way a rogue trooper attached to a DA's office could do this on his own. The only way this could be pulled off is if there's higher ups involved. So Aiden was always like, oh no, the corruption can't go that high. So, I'm the type of person that thinks the corruption goes higher, but, then I got my tinfoil hat on and people make fun of me. That's what I believe. Not nearly to the level of somebody like Nick that's on Sean on the Golf. But I think after Aiden's been arrested by D.A. Morrissey's posse, wrongly jailed, they're still trying to put him in jail. I would think that even Aiden says, oh, wait a minute, this goes up higher than I ever thought a year ago.
Good answer. Thanks for calling. This is your first time calling? I believe it is, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously. I comment all the time on your channel and the other channels. I've never called into your show, no.
Perfect. So I'm glad. I like first-time callers. Maybe we'll get another first-time caller. Scott is our first-time caller tonight. Thank you so much for calling in. Do you have any final comment before we let you go?
Well, I want to say on the phone, I apologize again. I know I did it to you in words, but I
Oh,
did get
dude,
very
you don't
angry,
have to do that.
and we're
Don't-
done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't apologize.
We're all good. We're all
Yeah.
on the same team.
No one needs to apologize.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one needs to apologize to me on all of it. This has been stressful for everybody.
Because the one thing I love about the free camaraderie movement, you know, amongst all of us, and we all have solidarity. We have all spectrums of politics and what we believe in, what we don't believe in, but we can all come together and we can seek the truth. We know Karen Reed's been railroaded. How it happened, how it came to be, just needs to be fixed. Everybody wants to bring their politics into it, which I'm guilty of sometimes, but I'm backing off. We got to get justice for John and free Karen Reed. And if there was vast conspiracy here, vast corruption, maybe we can get to the bottom of it. Maybe Jordan Levy does get to the bottom of it. And I'll end with that.
Awesome. Thank you for calling, Scott. Good first time caller.
All right.
Call again.
Sure.
All right. That was a good call. Maybe we'll take another one. 978-560-3155. Be quick though, because I think I may have to go see my partner in a second. My dog wants to go out too. George Soros is putting chemicals on the lettuce that's turning our kid. Oh my God. Is this the Alex Jones bit? They're turning the frogs gay. And Turtle Boy is a silent member of the board of Big Lettuce. Oh my God. See, we're having a lot of fun with this, but someone's going to hit up Turtle Boy and be like, Mike said that you were with George Soros. I guarantee you. One person will like misconstrue what we're saying tonight. Nobody give Turtle Boy any shit right now. I mean, the guy's been through a lot. Just reading the comments. You have everyone is enjoying Half Hammer in the comment section. Yeah, Aiden knows better. I think he does. He knows you can just call me if he has anything he needs to ask. All right. I don't know. Maybe we will wrap it up. 978-560-3155 if you want to call. This is a good night to do it. Tuesday is the next hearing. Going to be another hearing, Karen Reed. And I do have a bunch of guests I want to get on the show. I've just been so like busy and stressed and just not being able to keep up to be able to book and having some uncertainty about things. So like in terms of scheduling, so it's been hard to book anything. So that's why I just kind of went live last minute tonight. But hopefully we'll have some good guests upcoming too. I want to thank Mazza Media for joining me tonight and Scott for calling in. 978-560-3155 is the phone number if you want to call in. Also, if you want to support, you can support a bunch of different causes. Janelle Webb is at Z, like in zebra, Z Dispatcher on Venmo. If you want to support her, she's the one who was arrested for running the license plates. Hey, who's on the phone? Oh, they hung up on us. That wasn't nice. You got through and you hung up. I'm going to call him back. Should I call him back? Let me see. Jeez, 1 second here. It was a 617 number. Let's call him back. Oh, they hung up on me. I guess they didn't want to talk to me. They called, but they didn't want to talk. Someone asked for my Venmo. I'll put that up on the screen too in a second here. I had it. It's Mike Crawford 1 on. No, actually, that's Cash App. Excuse me. Mike Crawford 1 is Cash App. Mike Crawford TYJ is Venmo. I should have done them both the same. I don't know why I didn't. I started them at different times. I don't know. It's weird. Here it is. Mike Crawford 1 on the Cash App, or Venmo is Mike Crawford TYJ, like the Young Jerks. Mike Crawford TYJ. If you want to call in, you can still do so. 978-560-3155. But I thought it was very interesting about the telephone calls today. We haven't really talked too much about the telephone calls. But you know, wouldn't you love to know what those telephone calls were really about? Going to be interesting to see what what's going to be interesting to see what Bev Canone, what she actually rules on all this stuff, whether the motion to dismiss, the motion to sanction. There's been so many, whether she gives up these phones. I guess Court TV, Vinny is covering the Karen Reed hearing at 9 p.m. You know what? I actually do want to read. I think I just got a Venmo. I got a couple Venmos over the last week that I haven't read off, so I want to read everyone's off. Carolyn just said 25. And she said, pizza, get some pizza for yourself. Thank you, Carolyn. And let me just look and see if there were some others, I believe, on here too. Mike gave 25 on Venmo on March 14th. And he said, TYJ, keep up the good work. And Kelly gave us 25 on the last show. She said, great show tonight. Thanks for all you do, Kelly. From Kelly and Mike. Thank you, Kelly and Mike. And a little while ago, Patricia, beginning of March, I don't think I read hers off either. She said, thank you for supporting Sean. She really appreciated the show. She said, this is great. Thank you, Patricia. And I haven't been reading these off as much as I used to. I'm just trying to catch up. There haven't been that many. That's why. So we really haven't been putting it out there. But if you want to contribute, you can definitely do so. Where's the Cash App? I just want to make sure I thank everyone. Of course, for some reason, I can never find the Cash App on my phone. When I'm under pressure. There we go. Let me not even get in. Let me see. Sarah sent $10, and this was on March 13th. So this was actually last week. She said, for thanking you, Mike, great show as always. Thank you so much, Sarah. And that's it. So thank you very much. If you want to contribute, again, you can Mike Crawford TYJ on Venmo or Mike Crawford 1 on the Cash App. And you can always do a super chat as well. Yeah, we talk about Vinny tonight, going to be on at 9 p.m. apparently. He says, thank goodness Vinny might actually be reasonable. He takes both sides, unlike Julie Grant. Yeah, she's pretty not good. I watched some of the latest clips, and I was not impressed. All right, I guess we're going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. And again, we Young Jerks, we're going to come back with some guests very soon. Not sure quite when, but we'll be covering this. We're not going to stop covering it. I'm not going to stop covering it. Julie is horrible. I would agree on that one from Core TV. Not a fan. All right, everyone. I'll see you very soon. Have a good night. Thank you for supporting us and watching and sharing.